Hi viewers, welcome to this video. In this video, we will discuss interesting points about a small creature which gives a lot of message about our lives. And this lesson is from class 7th English NCERT textbook, supplementary one, that is an alien hat. So, the tiny teacher. What is meant by tiny? The tiny means small, very small. And teacher? Teacher means one who teaches us, one who enlightens us, one who explains about something or the other. So that is the meaning of the title, The Tiny Teacher. Here, this small creature is a teacher because it explains, it suggests, or it gives us many lot of useful information. Okay, let us continue with the lesson. Though so very small, the ant is unbelievably intelligent and hardworking. Among the various kinds, the commonest ant is black or red. Ants live in comfortable homes called ant hills. So, dears, the lesson is introduced with the main points. In the very first lines, the character has been revealed. Who is the tiny teacher? The tiny teacher is an ant. So it is a very small one that we know very well. The ant is unbelievably intelligent and hardworking. So, dears, in our day-to-day lives, we come across with ants, and we don't like to pay much attention towards them because we underestimate the ants. We feel that okay, the ants are very common, the ants are very small creatures. Hmm? What is the special with the ants to know about them? This is our feeling about the ants. But, my dears, in our nature, everything or other teaches us some valuable lesson. So, let us continue. Among the various kinds, the commonest ant is black or red. So, there are many kinds of ant or ants, but we know very well about black and red ants. Ants live in comfortable homes called ant hills. So, where do they live? They live in comfortable homes. They are called ant hills. Okay. Name the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest. సో మీరు చూసినటువంటి అతి చిన్న క్రీచర్ దట్ షుడ్ బి ఎ వైజెస్ట్ ఆర్ ద వైజెస్ట్ దట్ షుడ్ బి an intelligent creature. What is that? Is it the fly? No, it isn't. Is it the mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. It is the ant, the commonest, the smallest, but the wisest insect. Commonest insect, small insect, wisest, and hardworking. What is that? The ant. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue. Sounds almost untrue. What is meant by sounds almost untrue? Almost untrue. It means highly unbelievable. Highly unbelievable. But people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking, and intelligent creature. So some people um, will keep dogs as their pets, rabbits, parrots, and some other puppies, cats. So in the same way, some people kept the ants as their pets. So that's why we know some information about the ant. So what is that information? Valuable information. An ant uses its feelers or antenna to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Okay. Yes. These are called feelers or antenna. They use their feelers or antenna to talk to other ants, to wish them, to exchange the information, maybe about the source of food items, grains, etc. or etc. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the others coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. So, this is the suitable example. So, this one ant is touching the other ant's feelers in order to exchange their information or greet the others like that. Okay, as we said earlier, there are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we were children, but haven't paid enough attention to them. So there are many kinds of ants. చాలా రకాలైనటువంటి చీమలు ఉన్నాయి. కానీ మనకు తెలిసినటువంటి చీమలు మాత్రం బ్లాక్ బ్లాక్ యాంట్స్ అండ్ రెడ్ యాంట్స్. సో వాటిని మనం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చూస్తుంటాం, కానీ మనం అంత ప్రయారిటీ వీ వోంట్ గివ్ దట్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్ వీ వోంట్ పే దట్ much of attention towards the ants. Where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or ant hills. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. Okay, they live in comfortable rooms. Their rooms are called ant hills or nests. Okay, so each has hundreds of rooms, separate rooms, and passages. Passage means routes, doors, exit and entries and exits. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones called grubs. Okay, so in some of the rooms, the queen ant stays. And what is the duty of queen ants? It lays eggs. And others are nurseries for the young ones. So young ones means here the young ant, so that is called grubs. That is called grubs. And workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. So workers will have a separate reserved quarters. Workers, coolies, and they spend their time in searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. So out of these hundreds of rooms, the ants will allot some roots to store their food items. Soldiers have separate barracks. Barrack means barrack. Barracks. Barrack means like living places. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. Workers, they have their own quarters. They never enter into the other's house, soldiers' houses. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. So, soldiers, what is the duty of soldiers? They have to safeguard the ant hills. So, they never go for searching the food because worker ants duty, that is the duty of workers ants. So, we can understand that with this information, one should do one's duties. One should not involve in others' matters. Okay? No worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. Already we know the meaning of grub. The young ant is called a grub. So the remaining ants will never harm these young ants. So you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. Okay, they share the work among them and they never fight with others. So it is the indication of their intelligence. No ant takes lot of burden because they share their workload among the members of the group. Wings. Eggs hatch and the grubs come out. Eggs hatch. You know hatching period? Okay? Yes. And grubs come out. Soldiers guard them. Grubs, baby ants. Already we know, we discussed the grubs. Soldiers guard them. Workers feed and clean them and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. So, soldiers, they guard them, workers feed them and clean them, and also the worker ants, they carry the grubs over their backs daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. Dear children, you may feel that. Does the grub or do the grubs really need the airing and exercise? Yes, obviously they are needed. So, what did you get from this point? So, we also need some exercise in order to maintain or enjoy good health condition. And then 2 or 3 weeks think you might have come across in science the life cycle of butterfly: pupa, imago, cocoon. Okay, yes. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appears. Now it's time for teaching and training. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. So when these cocoons break and perfect are fully grown up ants come out of the cocoons, they will start learning or taking training from the senior ants because the duties should be transferred from one ant to another ant, ant to another ant, because the previous ants will become very senior ants, senior citizens. So after a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. So after some weeks training, they have to go out for work duties into the big world. An ant hill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures, beetles, lesser breeds of ants, and the green fly. Okay, so in these ant hills, not only the ants, the other kinds of insects or creatures also take their shelter. But why? What is the reason? Generally, we won't allow any others to live in our house except our relatives, even for 1 or 2 days only, not more than it, maybe up to a week, not permanently. But why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nests? For several reasons. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Okay, some creatures. Already I told you that nature teaches us many things. Many creatures are there in nature and it gives us or they give us lot of information, comfort. So like this, some insects in our nature, they release some pleasant smell. So that kind of insects also will take shelter in the houses of ants. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Others give sweet juices. And some are just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. The green fly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew like milk with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as we milk the cow. So, these are the reasons. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. They may still learn a few things from this tiny teacher: hard work, sense of duty, and discipline, cleanliness, care of the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where they live. And dear, the ants clean our surroundings. They clean the surroundings and they protect the Mother Earth. And we, the human beings, have to learn many things from these ants: discipline, share of work, living peaceful life, doing duties perfectly, protecting the young ones, safeguard the property. So, all these things which we have to learn from these ants. Yes, undoubtedly, it is really interesting and surprising information regarding the ants. Living places. They lead a peaceful life. They protect the small ants. The queen ant lays eggs, and the queen ant is the mother of the entire population of that particular ant hills, and it lives for about 15 years. In the initial times, the queen ant has a pair of wings, but later, after meeting with the male ant, are called drone. The queen ant's wings will get rid of. So that time onwards, it lays only eggs. This is the brief information about the lesson. Hope it is very useful to you, and all of you might have understood this one. Thank you.